they've got themselves out of a huge hole, you know, by playing some really good football, Manchester United, in the second half. If you analyse the first half, they were very poor defensively and deserved to go 2 behind. Mourinho, I'm sure, will take a lot of credit because he said he brought Mata on very early in the first half. Mata ultimately scores their first goal. Another one of his changes in the second half, Sanchez, who scores ultimately the winning goal, so I'm sure he'll take great credit for that. But does coming back from 2 behind to win 3-2 at Old Trafford against Newcastle, who are in a relegation fight, who still haven't won a game all season, does that change Manchester United Football Club? I don't think so. You know, the problems and the issues that are clearly there before the game are still there.
I'm surprised. I mean, I've just scanned my social media and I said at half-time about the substitutions and alienating players, which Jose Mourinho does, and the reaction to Manchester United supporters, to the players as they come off the pitch in a 3-2 win. And I completely agree with Gary. This is papering over the cracks. If you're analysing a football match, you say, why didn't he start with the team that he ended the game with? Why wasn't he that bold? Why wasn't he that brave? Why didn't he play those superstars in the positions and maybe go 2 or 3-0 up and not have that situation? So there's the first question to Jose Mourinho. The second one, his body language is still very, very poor. We saw Marcus Rashford miss a couple of chances and he looks up to the sort of director's box to say, nothing I can do about this. I can't score the goals. I can only put the team out there. The pluses are Alexis Sanchez gets off the mark. Anthony Martial scores a goal. Their attacking play was better in the second half. But they're playing a team that for the first 10 minutes took them to the cleaners, had very few answers to, and it was just by virtue of the fact that Manchester United have a lot of quality individuals that stepped up to the plate, and it ended up almost being sort of the Harlem Globetrotters in the second half. They had Pogba at central defender, they had Martial, Rashford, Alexis, all bombing forward with Juan Mata behind them. I mean, with those kind of talent, you should be creating and scoring chances. It shouldn't be last-minute stakes against a team that have got 2 points this season.
I think that's what all United fans will be craving with the array of stars they have, like you rightly said, and we've seen what they can do. Do you both expect Jose Mourinho to change his approach to football out of the blue because of this result? I mean, if you look at the table right now, it's City at the top, attractive football. Liverpool, very attractive football. Spurs, attractive football in times. Chelsea, much more attractive this season. It's not the stodgy, dour, 1-0 victories, backs to the wall type football we've come to see from Mourinho.
I completely agree with you. And the question I would ask Manchester United fans in terms of Jose Mourinho's longevity, whether it's another day, whether it's a week, whether it's a month, whether it's a year, or whether it's a decade, how can a team play like that in the last 25 minutes and not start like that? Where does that come from? Because it's not the players that pick themselves, it's the manager that picks the team. So I dare Jose Mourinho next week, the next game, to play all of those players. Why not? If that's the style of play that Manchester United should be employing, and I do believe it should be, then Manchester United penned Newcastle in and asked lots of questions. So the suggestion is they can do that against perhaps many teams in the bottom half. Against the better teams, if that's Manchester City, Liverpool, perhaps Spurs at their best, Arsenal and Chelsea, that first 10 minutes, those teams go on and win 3, 4, 5 and 6.
Yeah, but to answer your question, will Mourinho change? No. You know, he has his own ways, his own methods, his own style, and, you know, he's about being pragmatic and cautious and defensively strong and win things from that position. And I don't think that fits with Manchester United.
Does it fit in modern football now?
Well, based on what you've just said about, you know, the teams at the top at the moment and the style of football that they play, you know, be it Man City, be it Liverpool, be it Chelsea.
Bournemouth are fifth and they play attractive football. Arsenal are sixth.
Yeah, I think the game has shifted somewhat, definitely. But you know, Mourinho is the man, arguably, with a huge amount of power because of his past and his CV, and he will keep referring back to what he's won and even what he's won at Manchester United since he's been there. I still think it's a really tough call to sack him at this stage, and Arguably, if they got beaten today, it's easier to sack a manager off the back of a defeat. I know Stan believes strongly that, you know, with his contacts and the stories that have been coming out, that he is going to get sacked. But I doubt it very much myself.